Hey everybody. So I want to do a video about being crazy. Oh yes. Did you know I'm completely insane? So people call people crazy, label people that all the time when they don't understand something. Or they don't want to look into it, or it's too outside of their perception to actually grasp. When you see people walking down the street and they're just talking to themselves, they're covered in filth and they're urinating, pushing a shopping cart, let's say some completely crazy, you could kind of see there's something not right with that person. But a person who was talking about things that are going on in the world that you should question, that you asking these questions, and you're kind of you've come to your own conclusion because of your own experiences in life and seeing the pattern. Does that make you crazy? So what I think is crazy is when you look at countries like, say, China, and how they've lived forever and the way that they control their people. Wouldn't you, as an American or just a human being, would you think that that is normal? From your perspective, not living in that, you would probably think that's crazy. Unless you're a sociopath who wants to control every citizen on your planet. So when you see a pattern and you're starting to connect the dots, and you're asking relevant questions like, really, is your government meant to be there to enforce you to do whatever they want? Is that the country that we live in? Yes, it is. It is the country we live in. It's actually got a veil over it telling you have freedom, but you really don't. So when you really start to see that it's an illusion, your independence and your freedom, that it's all manufactured to make it so that you don't revolt, that's where I think something's crazy, is when you start to notice something and you ignore it. That's insanity. It's like staying in a relationship with an abusive spouse, hoping for a different outcome when they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you're just going to keep on tolerating that abuse. So just from a small little thing, is it crazy for a person to question everything around them and to actually connect the dots of these patterns of behavior? For instance, can you believe a president would ever tell you that they could nuke you because you have guns that you would use to protect yourself? And then they're going to come out on television and tell you that they can nuke you. That's crazy. Because you're telling everybody that we have bigger guns than you. So what are they trying to, what would a person be trying to say by doing something like that? It's called a threat. And if you don't see that as a threat, I think you're crazy. You should take what these people say literally. And whenever they flip-flop back and forth, see, I'm not a person of power. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not influencing your income. I'm not influencing your roof over your head. I'm talking about spiritual things and things that are going on in the world. I do not affect what goes on in your household. Financially, anything. Nothing. I have nothing to do with that. But you got people out there who say things like, you'll keep seeing a pattern in news of school shootings, or this person was killed and that we got to take your guns. And then you get a president who comes on television and tells you something about gun control and that, we have bigger guns than you. You would need this type of weapon to actually fight against us. But basically, well, we can nuke you. When that happens, wouldn't you go, what the hell? What the hell? This person is not my friend. And I would have to be crazy to continue to think that this person is my friend. I would be crazy to listen to somebody who tells me one day that I need this many layers of something over my face, and then the next time I don't. Oh, well, the science gets better. That's changing your mind, that's flip-flopping, that's going back and forth. But this person's trying to affect your life. Would you respect their opinion? Would you consider that person crazy or uninformed or unintelligent or probably not a real whatever they claim to be person? Would you ever respect that person's opinion? Is it because they have a title? Is it because they have a label? Like, why would you respect that person over someone who is actually showing you the things that are going on? You're going to call me, who has no skin in the game, crazy, but these people have all of the skin in the game in the world, and they're completely sane, justified, and they're doing their best. You're crazy for thinking like that. If you cannot pick up on the pattern and see all of these little fun little agendas going on and not actually kind of try to figure out what's going on, there's something wrong with you. I'm probably one of the, I'm not the sanest person on the planet, but I'm not drooling in my bed and I'm not pooping in my pants, okay? And I'm not walking around hitting myself on the head and telling me that pine cone is a god, okay? I'm not out there worshiping a pile of poop in my backyard saying, oh, this pile of poop rose out of my toilet. It's reaching high to heaven, and I need to worship it. I kind of feel like that's the world where we're going. It's like pile it high and deep. The thicker it gets out of your toilet, you're going to start to turn it into a shrine, maybe a hey, let's just worship this. Let's, hey, it's starting to form a pyramid. Let's scope it into a pyramid. Bow down before your poop, God. Yep, that's the world we're living in. Yeah, so I am a sane woman living in a crazy world. And you've got to be crazy to actually think that everything's okay. They're just people just doing the best they can, and they got so much on their plate. You need to watch and shut up about it and just watch what's really going on. I'm not talking to my awake people, but people who, there's people out there who are calling me crazy. And you know who you are. So, are you crazy for noticing this? Are you crazy for not wanting to worship shit?